Perfect weather conditions for the opening qualifying session of Ironman TT 2023 with the Supersport and Super Twin classes out first. Peter Hickman was the early pace setter on the triumph in the 600s, with Dean Harrison close behind on the time charts. So too Davey Todd and Paul Jordan. Francesco Coringa put his talents and his pattern to the test at Douglas Road Corner. A bit of a moment for the Italian. Michael Dunlop had started the session as first bike away in his Super Twin, but having been passed by Harrison on the quicker Supersport bike, he managed to stay with the Yamaha for most of the lap. James Hillier had Paul Jordan for company, both riders at the sharp end of the timing screens in the Supersport class. Jordan took his first ever TT podium last year, and out to show it was no fluke this time around. While Dunlop was setting the pace in the Super Twin category, Dominic Herbertson, Michael Rutter and Jamie Coward were riding around together. Having missed out on a Supersport TT race win in 2022, Peter Hickman out to make amends this time. Having posted the fastest time in Super Twin, Dunlop was very quickly out on his 600. Meanwhile, Jamie Coward was on his Super Twin for more track time. He was looking good for a podium last year until his bike expired. So a bit of unfinished business as far as he's concerned. He was second fastest overall in this session behind Dunlop. The solo classes wound up with the Superbike and Superstock machines. This is Phil Crowe on one of the many BMWs. He would go on to post the 10th fastest lap in the Superstock category. Not many riders, if any, are faster than Dean Harrison on a Superbike on the first timing sector from the grandstand to Glen Helen, so it was business as usual for the Dow Racing Kawasaki man. Having been quickest in both Super Twin and Supersport on the opening day of qualifying, Dunlop was seeking more of the same in Superstock. He's competing his own MD Racing Yamaha, and he needed just one lap on the bike to top the time charts with an average speed of 127 miles an hour. Phil Crowe continued to plough his way around to put in a lap just shy of 125 miles an hour. But it was all eyes on the man behind him on the road. Dean Harrison. Would he be the first rider to post a 130 mile an hour lap at this year's TT? A three-time TT race winner, he was making the most of the perfect conditions around the Isle of Man. Only one rider managed a 130 mile an hour lap in the Superstock class, and it was none other than Michael Dunlop, again on his own MD Racing Honda. John McGuinness looked as good as he's ever done. He would record a faster time in this session than he managed during the whole of TT22, just inside 130 miles an hour, while both Dunlop and Michael Rutter were also out on their Superbikes. Connor Cummins is once again racing for Paget's Honda, and he spent day one concentrating on the Superbike in the big bike class, and was another to hit the 129 mark. Dean Harrison was in superb form, managing a fastest lap of 131.7 miles an hour, an incredible feat for an opening day session at the TT. And the Yorkshireman would end the day with one lap on the Superstock bike. However, it was Michael Dunlop who would end the Superbike class as the fastest rider. As for Harrison, with the sidecars about to leave, he would be turned off at Glen Crutchley Road at the end of the lap, so he'd have to settle for a 123, but more importantly, crucial miles on the bike.
Yeah,
Peter Hickman would be one of only 3 riders to hit 1:31. He would end the day 3rd quickest behind Harrison and Dunlop. But while all of them would be pleased with what they've achieved on this opening day, they'll admit this week is not just about hitting fast lap times, but making sure their bikes are at their optimum for race week. With a good long-range weather forecast, there's a lot of talk about the possibility of the first ever 120-mile-an-hour lap in the Sidecar class. But while many would predict it's likely to be achieved by Ben and Tom Birchall, Pete Founds and Jevon Walmsley put forward their case. Having passed the Birchalls on the road, Founds and Walmsley had a clear run and would post a time just under 3 seconds quicker than their rivals, both outfits in the 117-mile-an-hour category. Having missed last year's TT through injury, Alan Founds was back racing in the Isle of Man with Jake Lowther alongside him, and they wasted no time in posting a fastest lap of 113 miles an hour. And Dave Molyneux, the most successful Sidecar TT competitor of all time, will be delighted to record 112 miles an hour in his revolutionary KTM machine. No joy though for another local outfit, Ryan and Callum Crowe. They clipped the inside of Laurel Bank, resulting in a leg injury which required hospital treatment for Callum, but they expect to be back out again in no time. But it's Founds and Walmsley who are the fastest on day 1 in the Sidecar class.